Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Crazy Lays Racing League here for race number 5 of the iRacing AI series for the Super Late Model series. We're going into race 5 here at Lanier. It's going to be 125 laps here today, and a 2-lap quali like normal. And going into race 5, Jesse Adams is your points leader over the last 2 race winner. Colin Cropley has won 2 in a row going into this race. Logan Clampett Sorry, clamp it. Logan Tritt is third. Colin Adams, Kyle Lingerfeld, your top 5. Um, Let me get the stream shared out, and we will all be ready to go. And there we go. But yeah, Lingerfeld, 24 bag, Dan Park, Mitchell Hood, Carl Craig, Andrew Duffield, and Ben Morrow, your top 10 in the points going into race number 5 here. I will be doing this race and probably another one here today. So we will get 2 races done, probably back to back here. Let's get on into it. And while this loads, we will open up race laps like normal. Oops. Oh, just close you, reopen you. We don't need the relative. There we go. We will fix everything once we get on in there. Okay. Let's go find Jesse for the quality laps, as he is our pole sitter. This one, people tend to hit the pit wall coming out of pit road. It looks like they might be okay in not doing that. We will know in a little bit if people did or didn't. That goes down there, that here. And what can Jesse do on his quality lap here? Jacob to pole. Ben Park and Dakota Brandon, your top 3. Jesse 10th with Lingerfeld and Dan Park around him in 9th and 11th. And lap 2 is Merkel, Cropley, Dan Park. Jesse falls to 18th, it looks like. Again, the guy that has won 2 in a row qualifies 2nd. Now we wait for everybody to pit. We'll bring this down. We will go take a look at the quality results here. It is pretty close. Oh, and pretty far off here today. Merkel, Cropley, Dan, Zimmerman, Provost, Dakota Brandon, Voiles, Malico, Lingerfeld, and Lane Doyle, your top 10, and then the rest of your starting lineup. Coming from the back, you got Bone Adams, Emerson Arden, Forrest Hamilton, Ben Morrow, Devin Smith. So put that back over there. We'll continue the session. Yes, advance. We will grid and ungrid.
Alright, man. Line up on the outside row now. Pit road is closed.
Put that back up. That. pole sitter is me in the 42. Over Colin Cropley. And then Dan Park, Devin Zimmerman, Jacob Provost, Dakota Brandon, Daniel Wills, Malenko, Lingerfelt, and Lane Doyle are your top 10. It looks like most of the paints have loaded. And we will move this up a little more because this track has really weird cameras. I think TB3 on this one is the best. So we got one more pace lap here. Long race, 125 laps. Let's call it quote unquote long race. Short race, I guess, 30 minutes. It should be around that unless we get some yellows. Pace car is off.
Green flag, green flag.
And we got green here at Lanier. Markle gets clear of Cropley pretty quickly. Dan Park trying to get up to second. But Cropley tries to send it around the outside already. And he's trying to go for 3 wins in a row and possibly take that points lead away from Jesse Adams. Markle's still there to the inside with Dan Park counting them in the one car right behind Cropley, trying to get back to the race lead once again here in the 3. Looks like Markle will prevail on the bottom for now, but Cropley's still looking there. We go back to Dan now in second. He's looking to the inside of the 3 car. Can Cropley hang on to this position? It looks like Dan, nope, not quite. The 3 had a great run off of turn 4 there. Here comes Devin Zimmerman now in the 12. Cropley still looking to the outside of the one of Dan Park. Cropley gets a great run off of turn 4. Still doesn't clear the one of Dan as the 42 Markle pulls away. Cropley now looks like clears Dan, and that brings Devin Zimmerman to the outside of the one of Dan Park here. And this is a battle for third now. It looks like everybody's still in this race this week. We've had no problems so far. Devin clears Dan Park for the moment. Jacob is 5th, Daniel Voyle is 6th, and right now you got a 3-wide battle for 7th place. Lingerfeld, Malenko, and Dakota Brandon all the way on the outside there. And it looks like they get clear of that with no damage, thank good. Thank goodness there. Lingerfeld clears. And we got a battle for the race lead already. It looks like Cropley has gotten to the outside of the 42 and Markle cleared. Goes Markle once again, and here comes the 12. So Devin Zimmerman now looking to the inside of Cropley here now through 3 and 4. And it looks like Devin will clear the 3 at Cropley, and he's going to go chase down the 42 Markle now for the race lead. He does clear. For now, they're a single file up here. Carl Craig now up into 8th place, has gained 3 spots. Malenko Causey also battling him back here. Looks like Malenko will get clear Causey, and some guys have fallen back, like Dakota has lost 6 spots. Wilhand has gained 3. We'll go through the rest of your field as they're all side by side back here. Collins top 5 in the points, and he's back in 15th. Our points leader, Jesse Adams, not having a good day, back in 19th. And the rest of your field here. Joshua Reese again, not having a good day. Bowen Adams, Forrest Hamilton, and Emerson Arden coming from the back. As Devin Zimmerman to the outside of Markle for the race lead here. Side by side here into 3 and 4. Markle trying to hold on the bottom, but Zimmerman using the high line here at Lanier. And it looks like 42 will get back out front for the moment. Cropley, like I said, trying to go 3 races in a row. Dan has fallen back a little bit. Cropley now looking to the outside of Devin Zimmerman, and he can't quite get there. Let's go back here. Causey now to the inside of Carl Craig here. That is for the 8th position as they continue to do battle. And now Craig, a great run off of turn 2, goes to the outside of Lingerfeld and almost clears him. These two have been fighting around each other all season long. They're still side by side up here. And Lingerfeld gets clear. Causey, though, back to the inside of the 78. Halsey now has nose out front. We got a battle for second. We'll go back up there. Cropley now looking to the outside of Devin Zimmerman. Here through 3 and 4 now on the outside. Zimmerman trying to hang on the bottom as Markle continues to dominate from pole. Zimmerman clears though the 3. And Gavin Wintermute gets up in the 9th. He's looking to the outside of Causey now. Can he get around on the outside? He does clear the 88. Right now you got a battle with Mal and Carl Craig here for the 10th position. Mal gets cleared the 78. And we got a battle again. It looks like second, third, and fourth are all close together. And it is. Cropley now loses the spot to Dan Park. Dan has caught these two. He's looked to the inside of Devin Zimmerman for second. Will he clear the 12? Not, he does. By now into 1 and 2, he will clear. Zimmerman falling back to Cropley once again. These two can't get out of each other's way. Can Dan go chase down the 42 now? Zimmerman falls back. Dan clears. They allow the 42 to continue to pull away. But what about Voiles? Voiles now looking to the outside of the 2. Jacob Prevost. Can he get there? Does not have the run though. I go back a little bit. Craig has fallen all the way to 12th with Dakota Brandon. They both have lost some spots now after gaining some early on. Dakota right now battling Will Hand and Josh Fox in the 62. You got up here, you got Lane Doyle trying to go around Malenko. Not quite clear the 7 yet. Still side by side here through 1 and 2. And Lane Doyle will clear for that position as it looks like the battle for 6 is going to heat up here. Boyle is trying to go around the outside of Jacob Prevost, one of our race winners this year. He can't quite get there. Markle is actually at the back of the field here. Causey looking to go around the outside of Lingerfelt now for the 8th position. He has a great run off the corner. Still side by side here in the 1 and 2. We're already in lap 26. We are under 100 to go. Causey still on the outside of Lingerfelt. Not quite there. Lingerfelt's going to clear back on the inside here because he has a great run off of turn 2. It's still there, looking to the inside. Causey cannot get around on the high line. Lingerfelt defending as hard as he can on the outside here. It looks like Lingerfelt will clear for that position. We go back up here. Gavin Wintermute now looking to the outside of Daniel Voiles. And he's going to clear the 26, it looks like, almost. Not quite yet. Hi, Dan. How are you doing? I mean, you got to chase me down still, Dan. I'm apparently having a really good race from pole. That's what you're trying to do. I'm apparently lapping people. Jacob Prevost has caught up to Devin Zimmerman here for the the 4th spot. They're both battling here. As Dan has closed the gap to 1.8 from what was it, 2.5. So lap traffic is getting to the 42. As they continue to do battle for the 4th position, and the 2 goes around on the outside of Devin Zimmerman. Voiles gets back around Gavin Wintermute. Dakota Brandon now trying to break back into the top 10, battling Lane Doyle, and we got a battle for second. Cropley has caught up to the 1 of Dan Park. Can he do anything to get around? Markle has put at least 4 guys, Ben Morrow, Mitchell Hodak, Joshua Reese, and Christian Bracken, a lap down. They've all not had good days here. We got a battle back here for the 5th spot. Voiles has caught up to Devin Zimmerman now. He's calmed down back here, and it looks like we might have a battle back here for around the 12th position. Carl Craig now looking to the inside of Wilhan. Almost gets into the 16 there. Definitely drifted up the track. We're only in lap 37 here. Dakota almost clear, not quite. And we'll go back to that second place battle. Cropley now looking to the outside. He's trying to go 3 races in a row, 3 wins in a row here. To the outside of Dan Park, but nope, that allows Jacob Provost to get to the inside here. The 2 sends it on in there. To the inside of Colin Cropley now. This is for 3rd place. Now these 3 have to start dealing with lap traffic and how to get around it. Oh, it is 1, 2, 3. It's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's funny. The 2 and the 3 have won races this year. The 1 car has not. Can Jacob Provost, though, get to the inside of Dan Park here looking? This has actually brought in Devin Zimmerman back into the picture of this race for the battle for 2nd. Zimmerman now looking to the outside of Cropley here as Dan pulls away from these 2 and these 3. Can Cropley get to the inside of Jacob here? He does get there, and that Devin Zimmerman now follows suit, and here comes the 26 of Voiles also into the battle. Devin drifts up the track a little bit. I had to point that out. You pointed out that, look, it's 1, 2, 3. Now it's 1, 3, 2. Dan trying to go 3 wide with lap traffic, trying to go around the outside of Joshua Reese and Ben Morrow. But they are blocking the track for these 2, trying to get to the race leader. How are they going to navigate the traffic? Dan does get to the inside of Reese finally. Zimmerman now has Voiles to the inside for the 5th spot. One of the NR champions here. He's trying to clear the 12, but Zimmerman can't quite get there. Zimmerman does clear all the way on the outside. A great run. He gets clear 26. Now back to the outside of the 2, Jacob. And he's going to clear the 2. Jacob having problems. Here comes Voiles now on the outside. You had to point it out, don't you, Dan? Couple of NR champs up here. I don't know where Angel Gutierrez, the first iRacing champ, back in the field a little bit. Let's see, the leader is lapped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're trying to actually get their laps back right now on the 42. Christian Bracken was last one getting lapped and has gained some spots and passes the 42 to get back in the lead lap. Now we got a 3-way battle though for 2nd. Here comes Devin Zimmerman and Cropley. Cropley, like I said, trying to go 3 races in a row here. We haven't seen that yet in an AI series. Trying to make it happen. Zimmerman now looking to the outside. Can he get there? He does have a great run off of turn 4, but he's not quite there. Voiles now to the outside of Jacob Provost as Lingerfeld has got up into this fight, and he's to the outside of the 2, Jacob. And that is 6th place for the 24. Lingerfeld now making moves here. Tries to go around the outside. Can't quite get there now. That allows Gavin to the inside here. They are catching Merkel to about 1.4 seconds now. They were 1.8 a little bit ago. As it's lap 54 of 125. We're 1/5 through, or 2/5 through the race. It has calmed down for the moment. Dan has gotten clear lap traffic, but Cropley's right there with him still. They can see the 42 now. They go back here. Will Hand has moved up into the top 10. Lane Doyle still hanging on the 10th, but is battling Dakota Brandon for that spot. Dakota gets back up in to the top 10 for the moment, trying to pass Lane Doyle. Does get that, looks like, as Will Hand tries to battle Gavin Wintermere right there. Zimmerman now battling lap traffic as Cropley to the outside of Dan Park here. Trying to, as they're going through the lap traffic here. Oracle looks like he's back on the move now, putting Devin Smith a lap down, looking at Sheldon Zerwick here. Left traffic absolutely playing a factor. Jacob Provost now to the inside of Boyles again for the 5th spot. Or will Boyles prevail on the outside line? They're about even here through the back straightaway. Now coming to the front straight. Jacob's still there. Still side by side. Cropley looking to the outside of Dan, it looks like up there. It looks like Boyles will prevail here. Looks like Dan's still hanging on for the moment. Zimmerman trying to, as they're still battling for this 5th spot. Jacob's still side by side with the 26 of Boyles. Looks like Boyles will get it as they hit the lap traffic right here. Lingerfeld also lurking in the back right here. Boyles tried to clear there, can't quite get there. They still continue to battle for this 5th spot. Nobody's giving it up. Lingerfeld now has Gavin Wintermute to the inside here. Cropley again back to Dan, looking to the outside here. As they continue to battle and let the 42 again pull away here. But Dan looks like he clears as the lap traffic is to the inside of Cropley now. Zimmerman now has Jacob to his bumper to the inside as they have lap traffic in the way. Cropley again to the outside of Dan. And clears the 1 this time. Now Dan has to defend Ben Morrow, who's lapped down. Jacob got around Devin Zimmerman. Gavin Wintermute and Lingerfeld still battling now. This is for the 6th position. They're battling again up here for the 4th position as Zimmerman has caught up to the 2. Will Zimmerman clear the 2 of Jacob? Not quite. Looks like he finally does right there, and Gavin now looking to the inside. And Gavin clears the 2. Here comes the 26 of Boyles. The 2 is just falling now on the top line. Cropley has closed the gap to 1.2 on the 42. Same with Dan Park, as they look to be battling again as they're lapping the 43. 2 friends from the beer company that I used to work at now battling each other for the 5th spot. We continue to watch the time up front. Boyles now to the inside of Jacob here for the 6th spot. And we'll get there. Dan has caught back up to Cropley once again, but they are in heavy traffic. Markle now trying to lap Ben Park. With lap 70 here, we're going to try and go through the field. Markle is in first over Cropley, battling Dan Park. They both have stayed in their position they started. Same with Devin Zimmerman in the 12. However, Gavin Wintermute, back in the 21, has gained 12 spots up in the 5th. And Boyle is now 6th, up 1. Lingerfeld is 7th, up 2. Dakota Brandon down 2 and 8th, battling Jacob Provost, who's down 3 right now as they are battling for that in 8th and 9th. Will Hand is 10th, up 6, battling Josh Fox for that top 10 spot. Fox is up 11 to 10 spots as they continue to do battle. Wayne Doyle down 2, Causey up 1, Colin Adams down 2, Carl Craig down 4, Angel Gutierrez is up 3 so far. Your points leader up 1, 17th. Andrew Duffield down 3, Malenko down 11, Forrest Hamilton up 9, up 1 for Logan, Sheldon down 3, up 3. Bone Adams up 8. Ben Park has lost 11. He continues to not have good races. That is unfortunate. Devin Smith has gained 2, but is still at the back of the pack. Same with Emerson, who's up 4 at the back, a lap down. Dan has caught up to the 42. We'll continue to watch this battle. However, Reese down 1 at 27th. Christian Bracken down 5. Mitchell Hudak down 5 at 28th, 29th. Luna Farmer right now 30th down 10. And Ben Morrow down in last. But we will go back up here. Dan Park has caught up to the 42 through this heavy traffic. Is looking to maybe get to the outside as he's to the outside of Emerson, with Cropley looking to his inside right now. I don't have a win yet either this year. Get out of here, Dan. Cropley, though, clears the one of Dan Park. Cropley now trying to get that 3 in a row. The 42 needs to start lapping more cars. As they get through some of the heavy traffic here, Cropley's going to be the one chasing. As Zimmerman gets clear of Dan Park now. Jesus. They have 4 more lap cars to pass still. 3 more. As Cropley tries to chase down the 42. Continue to watch these two do battle here for 3rd. Right now, Dakota Brandon has gotten up into 6th, making moves. Loyal's now down up into 6th. Dakota is actually up into 5th, sorry. Gavin's dropped. Josh Fox up into 8th. They're making moves. Lil Hand has dropped to 9th. Lingerfeld's dropped to 10th. Jacobs dropped to 11th. And someone else has definitely dropped back. I could be wrong, but it feels like someone else is dropping. Go back up here though. Cropley trying to chase the 42 as they've caught up to Ben Park now. Trying to lap the 13 car. We're in lap 85 of 125 already. Zimmerman cannot get around Devin Smith. Devin and Devin show here. 1 lap down, 1 in 3rd place. Continues to hold up the 12 and the 1. Cropley about 7 tenths from our race leader. Dakota still 5th. Gavin now battling. Daniel Voiles here for the 6th spot. Lingerfeld looking right behind him with Josh Fox, Will Hand, and all of them. Cropley has caught up to our race leader, Merkel. He's on the outside of the 42. This could be our new points leader with how far down the points, or down the leaderboard Jesse Adams is. Jesse's still 17th. The 42 trying to stop the 3-peat for the 3 car. Cropley right now trying to make the high line work on the 42. Will this bring in the other 2? Or at least the 12 of Zimmerman, who's about 7 tenths back now to the inside of Christian Bracken back there. There's about 35 laps to go. Merkel hangs on for now. Zimmerman now trying to get through the lap traffic, also within a second of the race leader. Dan right now still can't get around Devin Smith. Cropley is there looking back to the outside of the 42. Merkel had a bad run off of turn 2 there, it looked like. Emerson just nowhere to move, nowhere to go for the 48. He's lap down, just being kind of in the way here. Zimmerman now looking to get around Cropley as he's gotten around the 43, looking to the outside of Emerson. Here comes Cropley again on the outside. Look, that's great. 91 and 95 won't get out the way. Nope, now there's a battle for fourth. Dakota Brandon, all of a sudden his car is kicked in and he's now past Dan Park and he's up in the fourth. Can he go get the race win? Zimmerman still trying to get around Cropley here. They got Emerson in the way. Merkel starts to pull away once again. Zimmerman now to the inside of Cropley. Emerson's now being the Ryan Newman of this battle. Cropley almost got into the wall there. Zimmerman does clear. Can he go catch the 42 now? And Merkel just set his fastest lap of the race somehow. The fuck? Is it cooling off out there? These laps Bone Adams now. Dakota Brandon up into third. Gets around Cropley. Cropley falls back behind Dan Park now. And Will Hand up into sixth all of a sudden. Seventh is Gavin. Eighth is Causey. Ninth is Voiles. And Jacob is 10th. Colin looking for the top 10 right there. Dan falls back behind Cropley. Cropley now trying to go around the sixth. Dakota Brandon there. The 95 still in the way of the one of Dan Park. And man, Zimmerman cannot get around Emerson. Emerson now holding everybody up. Devin finally sends it to the outside of the 48. How dark the line is though from all the rubber being put down now. Devin still cannot get around Emerson. And Markle has just pulled away again since that. Now Christian Bracken to the inside of the 12. We're under 25 to go here. I think the 42 has locked this one up. Cropley now back to the inside for third, or second place, sorry. And Zimmerman now tries to go around the outside here of these lappers. It's still not working. Devin Smith still in the way. Dakota Brandon and Dan Park still battling for that fourth spot. Now they're trying to go three wide around Christian Bracken. And Zimmerman can't make this line work whatsoever. He really needs the bottom line. Can he clear the 43 finally? Had a decent run there off of two, but can't quite get there. Jesse Adams, your points leader, falls to 21st. That should mean Cropley will take the points lead pretty easily. Zimmerman, can he clear the 43 finally? But he still has to get around Emerson. Does clear the 43. Cropley now is Dakota Brandon hounding. But Dan Park had a great run off of turn number 2 there. Looking to the outside of Dakota. Can't quite get there. A lot of the drivers definitely very inconsistent at times. Will Hand out in 6th, trying to battle Gavin Wintermew. Boyles 8th, 9th Causey, Jacob still in 10th, battling Colin Adams for that. Lingerfeld has fallen to 12th. Go back up here. Dan cannot get away from the 95. Devin Smith. Dakota Brandon. Cropley still battling here. Zimmerman still ahead of these two, but cannot get around Emerson now. It is trying to go around the outside. Dakota is here though. Will he make it 3 wide? Dakota now to the inside of Devin Zimmerman. The 42 has two lappers still in between them after Emerson. Cropley now back into this battle. Cropley wants to get back into second. Zimmerman now falling off. Dakota Brandon has fought his way back up into second. Gained 4 spots now in the race from where he started. Cropley still has lost 1 now. And we got 10 laps to go here for the 42. As we continue to watch the battle for second, third, and fourth. Dakota Brandon now. Zimmerman looking to make it 3 wide here. Had to back out of it. That was close. Will this bring the one of Dan Park back into this battle? It will. And they're going to go 3 wide again. Zimmerman trying to make the middle work. Cropley around the outside here. Zimmerman now has Dan Park to his outside. Can Dakota clear? He cannot. Cropley trying to hang on and get to second. Zimmerman still there to the inside. Dakota hasn't quite cleared the 3. Cropley gets a great run off the corner there. They're at 6 laps to go now, and it's looking to be 3 wide again. Zimmerman can't make the middle work though. Cropley trying to get that outside line to work. Gets tight, clears the 6 finally. And with 5 laps to go, it is all the 42 Merkel over Cropley in the 3. Dakota Brandon, and now Dan to the inside of Devin Zimmerman here. And clears Zimmerman now to the outside of Dakota Brandon all of a sudden. Trying to get back up into 3rd. Can't quite get there. Devin Smith now being a hindrance to Devin Zimmerman. Dan still looking to the outside of the 6 of Dakota. Can he clear? Dakota did there for a second, but Dan cannot get clear of him. Here comes Devin Smith again into that picture. He has 2 laps to go. This time by for the 42 Merkel. Has been trying to lap Benton Park forever. Can't seem to do that. Even though Benton Park's been holding him up. It hasn't stopped with 2 laps to go here. It goes to the outside of Benton now. Benton trying his hardest to stay on lead lap. 1 lap to go for the 42. Looks like Cropley right now hanging on over 2nd place. And they're coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. Merkel's going to dominate here at Lanier. From pole to lead every lap, I think. Cropley gets 2nd. 3rd is Dakota Brandon. 4th is Will Hand all of a sudden. He gets up there at the end. Dan falls to 5th. Zimmerman falls all the way to 6th. Gavin Wintermute 7th. Foyles is 8th. Jacob Prevost 9th. And 10th is Colin Adams as Josh Fox fell out the top 10. And the rest of your field. And Ben did finish on the lead lap. It looks like Jesse Adams fell all the way to 21st, so I definitely think Cropley is your points leader with getting 2 firsts and a second now. So we'll see what the points look like here after. As everybody's trying to pit. Some people have gone around again, so Devin and Dan. It's like half the field is going around again. And now we gotta wait on Mel and these 2. If they're side by side still, someone's not gonna make it down pit road. Damn it. Oh nope. They're all gonna get down pit road good. No, Andrew's going in 1 more. Andrew finally comes down pit road after finishing 19th. Did not have a good race. Down 4 spots. Not as bad as the 7. 7 lost 12. Let's go take a look at the points. After that, so Markle led all but one lap. Cropley got the other one. Fastest lap was not the 42 like I thought it was. It was actually Forrest Hamilton with a 14.441. And it was he was actually quite fast, but just couldn't be consistent enough with that. Um, Cropley, Dakota, Brandon, Wilhan, Dan Park, Zimmerman, Gavin Wintermute, Voiles, Provost, and Colin Adams, your top 10. Fox, Lingerfeld just outside, and the rest of your lineup. The rest of your finishing order, I should say. Go see what the points look like here. Oh, that's right. The track map. We'll just reopen that after. Cropley is the new points leader. He goes from 8 behind to 11 ahead of Jesse Adams. Colin Adams is 20 back along with Dan Park. Logan Tripp 5th, 24 back. Lingerfeld 26. Carl Craig. Markle with the win is still 31 points back. Has not had a good year other than that. Lane Doyle and Joseph Causey round out your top 10. Having rough years, Ben Park, Will Hand, Emerson Arden, Joshua Reese, and Luna Farmer. All 80, 72, 71, 71, and 71 points back. Other than that, your updated wins is Cropley with 2, Jacob, Lane Doyle, and Markle with 1. Your top 5s is Cropley leading with 3 apiece after 5 races. 2 for Andrew, Lane Doyle, Markle, and Dan Park. And top 10s, 4 for Adams out of 5 races, 3, 3, and a bunch of people with 2. Laps completed is Cropley still and Jesse, both with 585. Laps led will probably be Merkel now because he led basically a whole race. And I don't think anybody got incident points. Going back to this race, looking at it. It's the first race, there's been no incident points happening. So, we will see you guys next time at, let me pull up the schedule. At Concord.